Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah.
Huh? Mine went really swell.
No, I was going, I got stuck.
Right, so help.
Please.
But it'll be close. We'll bring the other one in.
Get wet on the wrapper.
Welcome to 2023. We're back. This is our first official day back in the workshop. Probably a few too many weeks off because now we have to.
What would you say that?
Oh, we just did a lot of cleaning we have to do that we should have done. Hope you all had a happy New Year, safe Christmas, all that stuff.
Got spoiled by Santa.
Got spoiled by Santa, yeah. We're back into it. Probably going to spend the first couple of days just sort of reorganising the shed. We've got the shed next door now, so we are currently working on organising the two sheds to work in unison kind of thing.
Yep.
Behind George, we've got all of our storage racks, which are all on wheels. Hope you're excited for a full
big
year.
fun-filled year.
Let's get into it.
What is happening? We've got a Pelican.
But I can't remember what next one. George is a little bug. Roll the dice.
Mole! Mole! Scrubby scrub. It's looking much cleaner, yeah, my bro. Got to clean our equipment up for a new year. You know, coming to the new year looking snazzy, I reckon. It just seems to get stuck, all this jargon. Beat the devil out of it, son. As you can see behind me, we've done a bit of a spring clean, summer clean. Come with me, we've changed the layout of things a little bit. We've put gas bottles in the way. Quite a tidy up. I don't know if you remember seeing in the background from the end of last year's videos, but I'm not going to label it as a brothel. It wasn't far from it. Had a mean clean up. Quite a big clean up. Even George cleaned his office. We've laid a few things out differently here. So we've bought a couple of tools over there, over to here, so they're all uniform. Unsure about if we're going to clash with a few things yet, because like the folder we don't use all the time, but it's still usable. And yeah, cars. As you can see, we don't have any cars. In our new shed, we have a couple. So, we've got an abundance of beautiful motors here. SR20s, RBs and that LS. So, now where'd you come from, sir? Hello? Like fancy seeing him in this neck of the woods, eh? You must have popped out of here somewhere. Do you think you can guess which one we're working on next? Because we got no idea. We would like an input. Gives you input. What would you rather see more of this year? Even though at the end of the day, it really does not matter what you think, but we got to do it anyway. We'll build things. We have Smoko's VL RB30 Turbo. We have Jarred's Billet Block 2J S15. We have John's LS S14 that's just gone under a respray. I have no idea who that is, but it has a yellow car and I don't think there's much happening with it. That's the Hilux. That is a beautiful machine. We've got the VL over here, which will be back into progress once a few parts rock up. We have the most ultimate SR20 God's Motor rig hauler here, as you can see. All thoroughly under construction right now. All right. Hot, stanky. In there, perfect. Out of sight, out of mind, George.
Just hide things
Just
behind the
behind the fridge. Wait, we can nearly make like a little area. It's like talking to a doorknob he is. Super sane.
I'm not an idiot.
out there is shit.
Well, that's the only way you make noodles. We've got Himmy's Carshop F1 R34 GTR back in the shop today, or yesterday I should say. Boys went down on the tow truck, went down in the tow truck, picked it up for us. Gave it a wash, first thing, nice and minty fresh again. We're going to do a little bit on the inside, so it's called an MFD, which is I'm pretty sure it's a multi-function display, I think. I could be wrong there, but anyway, we're going to get that working for him because he wants it working. Should be some very expensive parts out of Japan, I think. Then in the engine bay here, which is the most exciting part, we are going to try and get a modernised turbo setup on this thing. So it's made, I can't remember what it made, it was like 600 and something, I think, on the dyno, 600 horsepower roughly, which is really cool, really good power for the car. The only problem, and not necessarily problem, but the only downside to it is it's lazy, being an old school and old generation turbo. It is a Greddy turbo, so it's just not very responsive, which is fine, it's very period correct and all that sort of stuff, but we want to wake this thing up a little bit in the lower to mid RPM ranges, more so mid, not really low. It's never going to be a torque monster, but pretty much just wake this thing up and make it drive just a little bit snappier. We've got plans. We're going to try and talk to a few different people and see if we can possibly fit a G30, a new G series core, into the Greddy housing. That way it still looks very period correct, but it'll perform how we want it to. Hopefully we can make that work. On top of that, it's getting a new exhaust manifold as well. So pretty much new hot side setup for this thing is the goal, but we're going to try and keep it looking as period correct as possible whilst giving it sort of modern performance characteristics. And obviously if we go over this way, we've got John's S14 is freshly painted in the OEM forest green colour. Looking really nice. Got that back a couple of weeks ago. It's just been in the next door shed getting stored until we were ready for it. So we've got John's trolley to your left, John's LS more to your left, and pretty much just tidying up the interior, getting all the crap out of it, getting it nice and ready to go. So it's basically a good base to start. So this thing will be running a factory body harness with a Nexus controlling the engine. So pretty much tidy up the factory body harness, tidy up everything inside, and then it's also this thing's going to get a full cage and a full trimmed interior, very similar to the setup that we've got in Gia. This thing's going to be absolutely wicked when it's done. 700 horsepower turbo LS auto in an S14 with a essentially brand new interior will be pretty cool. I think we're going to paint the LS up, so it's all pretty much ready to go. It was in the car, we just got it wrapped up at the moment. We did a trunnion upgrade on it. It's the last sort of thing. The bottom end is unknown to us, but John's had it rebuilt, refreshed in there, and I just pulled the covers off. It does have nice valve springs and stuff like that, but I did notice that it still had the factory trunnion needle rollers, so we got them out of there before they gave us any hassle. Just because these alley blocks, they're not very pretty to look at, and the alley gets calcium buildup and corrodes on it pretty quickly, and they don't really look good for very long, so we think we might gonna basically strip everything off and paint the block in like a satin black, just black it out so it's just a really nice clean look to it. But at the moment I'm just getting some parts for an RB26 that we're putting together for Jamie. It's going in an S13, so it's an RB2630, so that'll be a pretty cool car coming up in the next, I don't know when it's coming up, a few weeks, couple months, don't know.
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks, yeah. We got the bottom end here and we got the head, so we just need to gather up the rest of the parts, put that engine together, and as soon as the engine's ready to go, he's going to bring the car up from Sydney, I'm pretty sure he's from as well. So yeah, that's it, that's the update, that's where I'm at, that's what I'm doing. That's it. You're welcome, I'm going to eat my wrap now.
That's on Hammer. Same spot, bro.
Have you got your drill license?
I don't have any license. Because we've got a heavily westerly wind coming across, makes it quite difficult to drill in the breeze. See that, George? So line up. Negative. Oh. I ain't going anywhere, George. Oh, that's close, George. Boom! sends power to all my machines, George. What we got? I got you.
The other hand's got that. All about teamwork around here.
Open her up, bro. You gotta open it. Yeah, we go now. Yeah. Oh. See what happens, right, is you'll get it. If these masonry bits aren't in the right drill holder, because it's for a hammer drill, and this was on hammer earlier, but we took it off hammer. That's on hammer. Now we'll see, now we're on. Now it's going to drill straight. I don't need to do it. What's that hole?
That one is where that drill bit went through.
Oh, that'll do it, yeah. No, that's fair. Just a marker hole, isn't it?
Okay.
See, that's drilling, that's concrete for you. As you can see, we're not in the workshop like normal. It's a different bit of footage, right? So what we've got to do is we've got to put up this gate to keep the riffraff out. So I'm on this side of the fence. Keep riffraff out.
Keeping you out.
Because I've got the long stems so I can hop up and around.
You ready for this big dog?
Should we show them?
Oh, there is the radiator in there. And a front differential. Some brake fluid.
This thing's hotted up, isn't it? Mate, I'll get you.
Why do we do this stupid video every time we have one of these things?
What stupid video?
Huh? What stupid video?
I don't know.
Huh?
What stupid video?
Oh look, we've got another one.
Come on.
Where you going? In there, by the looks of it, using my powers of tell me your stories. Don't know. You like that? This is not the ideal way that you should paint your engine, but this engine's already together and the owner of the car expects this engine to have a limited lifespan because he wants to go to an iron block sort of sooner rather than later. So we're doing the hack. Probably going to be a big hole in the side of the block, not too far away from today. Not today, it'll last a while, but
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. The intention of this engine is not to last forever, so kind of want the engine to hide in the engine bay a little bit, if you know what I mean. We don't want it to, we just want it to look nice and clean and tidy. Quick blow over a black. It's all rebuilt and everything, it's just the power goals he has, this block will not support. So if it lets go, it lets go, basically. And he's completely come to terms with that. So yeah, just so if you're like, that's rough, we know. That was the disclaimer.
Well,
Wow.
If it's only me and you working,
yeah.
guess what I've
Yeah,
found?
and everyone watching.
Guess what I've No, it's just you. No, everyone else can watch. Guess what I found before?
What did you find?
Vendy money.
Oh.
Was hiding under the carpet. And I was like, you know what? We'll keep that for later. Nissimo rare wheel.
Pretty rare, aren't they?
Oh, bro, honestly, I haven't seen a pair like that since like Sydney. They're very rare. See these Nismo wheels, right? They're not the same that we just seen on that one and that one. My fly's down, Jesus, Daniel.
Oh, got him.
This is wet.
We got Jarred's car back in on the hoist. Obviously, as you can see, we're expecting the billet block back any day now.
Any day.
Cracking on with a few things, fitting up the rear over fenders with some riv nuts and dress up bolts, making it all nice and fixed, nice and permanently installed. And then once we got the engine back, obviously we're gonna get it back together and back in the car. But yeah, that's more on that later, I guess. We just...
Yeah, I guess if it's an outro, we don't have to tell them about it.
So thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
Like, comment and subscribe.
Welcome back to the new year.
Welcome to 2023, and we'll see you on the next one. Boy.
Over. This is 2023. It's currently January the... Monday morning. We're starting very fresh. As you can see, we've had a spring clean. We've got my friend over here making TikToks because he's currently going viral. What do you want to do now? Tipping the snow into the bin.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, because that means the climate's changing.
You know, as a little kid, and it's like, oh yeah, I know this new trick, and it does cool, and you have to pretend that you're excited for it.
Yeah.
It's me to Daniel right now.
Yeah. Because you actually don't know what's cool. Like, imagine if it was snowing right now, I bet you every soul would be like, the f is happening? Pull chairs out before we pull the wall out. He's ready for a refill. Well, you just go send him off for a refill. Send him for a refill. Oh! George! George, I got it! Oh!